I'm Lance Feliciano, and this is a story about how I attended the first drift competition option video in the US at the age of 8.
You're listening to the Still 80 Mania podcast. I'm your host, Benson Su, and this is Storytime. Today is a very special story time because I have a special guest with me in the studio. Actually, I have two guests. I have a guest that is my co-host, Nadine. Welcome, babe.
Hi, honey buns.
And I got a very special guest that I will introduce in a minute.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm happy to be back on. I kind of took a little breather from the podcast.
You've been busy.
I've been a little busy. Not as busy as I want to be.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But today I'm really happy to be back. I wasn't sure if I was going to be on. We're having technical difficulties and I'm just well, I'm here. We got to make this work. So I'm happy to be back, guys. I'm excited for your next season too.
I'm not even thinking about that yet.
I am. I'm excited. We'll
get there. We'll get there.
You better get there.
I'm planning some really good guests.
Do you have a release date?
No.
Bad. Okay. Well, I'll work on it, guys.
Yeah, you work on it because you got to get your podcast done.
I'm working on my I'm slating my episodes. We already have 3 done. I'll have 6 more done soon. Mm-hmm. It's fine. But anyway, enough about my stuff. I want to hear. I'm new to this story time thing, but I think you have someone that's going to tell us a story.
Yes.
Right? So tell me, who do we have?
Okay. So this person, I met when he was a youngin', and I don't know how old he was. He was pretty young. But it turns out that he has a pretty cool dad, and I kind of watched him mature into a young adult, now an adult, and kind of seen his journey, and it's been very impressive to just see all the things that he's done with his life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, Lance Feliciano. What's up, man?
Hey,
welcome, Lance.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yes,
so happy to have you on. Did we get that right? Did we meet at that Shine Street meet?
I do remember that Shine Street meet. I do actually have a picture of your car at that meet too. So,
okay.
Yeah,
and how old were you?
I was 16 years old, I think.
16.
Oh my gosh.
I remember you were really young. And do you remember what you talked to me about?
No.
I do.
You do?
It was very vivid because you made an impression on me when we met. Because I knew you were really young. You told me, for some reason I thought you were younger than 16. But you walked up to me and you told me what your dreams and aspirations were. And to become a professional drift car racer.
Oh my God. That is so cute.
You wanted to be a pro drifter.
Oh my gosh.
You told me that you wanted to just get advice from me to help you get there. And I was like, people might ask me advice on car setup, but this guy, he told me, he just laid it out for me, and he went deep. I want to get there. What do I need to do?
Oh, that is
that was very impressive to me from a young kid.
That's crazy.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that actually.
Yeah.
But I remember that's all I wanted at that time.
Yeah, I could tell.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, that is adorable, Lance. And you did it. And you became a drift car driver.
Yeah.
Look at you. I think you just speak it into existence and you know that that's just how it's going to be, and you get there. I love it.
When you have that passion, right?
Yeah.
I think especially when you're young and that's you have a bunch of heroes and you that becomes everything about life is that one thing.
Speaking it into existence.
And Benson, you were one of my heroes too, man. You, Ken, all you guys.
Thanks.
Aww. I was watching the drift sessions in Hawaii.
Oh wow,
that was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Those were really cool.
Shout out to Hawaii. Yes.
Yeah. Aww. Hawaii had some really raw drifters. They still do.
Yeah.
But yes, we just came back from hanging out with them. Yeah, we were just there.
Yeah, we got to
awesome.
we became pretty good friends with a lot of the guys that we interviewed for that Hawaii episode. And we got Justin Kikawa. He put together like a little get together for us, and what was really cool is we got to see a lot of the OGs and the young generation too. Like it kind of brought the young and the older generation together, and that was really cool to see.
What generation is Lance? What do we consider him?
I'm like the middle. Right?
I know. Are you Chuki? Like he's like the Chuki generation, and then we're like hella Zenki. I don't know.
We're pig nose.
Oh my god.
Pig nose, front lip.
You need to elaborate for our poor listeners what the hell a pig nose is.
I don't.
No?
I can't even believe I said pig nose on this podcast.
So now I'm gonna call you out. Explain to the poor listeners what the hell a pig nose is.
Is like the most ignorant thing you can call a Zenki, because
that's not nice.
Because it doesn't look like a pig.
That's not nice.
Yeah.
Don't say ignorant.
The Zenki bumper does not look like a pig. Just like when people call Koki S14 shark eyes, it doesn't look like shark eyes.
What do you mean? I think it looks like shark eyes.
Do you know what shark eyes look like?
Yeah.
They don't look like
they're like this. They're like mad.
No,
well, actually, sharks have really tiny eyes, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or the S15 strawberry face, like that. How does that look like a strawberry face?
Ichigo forever.
Oh, there's a reason for that. It's because
Okay.
15 is 1-5, and that 1-5 in Japanese is Ichi and Go, and then Ichigo is strawberry in Japanese.
Yeah, but like it still doesn't have anything to do with strawberry.
It has nothing
but I
to
think
do
it's
with
really
it.
dope because I have Ichigo face and I love strawberries, so like that's okay.
Is that the
That's
connection?
okay.
Is that why you did that?
What? Yeah, I love strawberries. Ichigo
your
forever.
car was really cool. I remember.
My car is cool.
It's
She's
so
in
cool.
the garage sleeping.
It's still cool.
I'm super happy you guys still have your guys' car.
For sure.
What are you driving these days?
I do not have a S chassis at the moment, but I still have a Hachiroku, which I'm super happy to be in right now.
Nice.
I have a Prius.
What made you get an S? What made you get...
I'm gonna cut you off at Prius. Stop. Just
It's a
stop.
Mirai. It's a Mirai.
Does that make it better?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Tell us about your Hachiroku.
Okay, so since I'm not really competing or trying to have the most horsepower anymore, I kind of felt that I needed to like go back to my roots to become like a better driver again.
Nice.
And I didn't know anything else besides going back to a Corolla and like just driving as hard as I could. So finding a Corolla during this time was really hard.
Yeah.
Super hard.
That's
and
like impossible. Like you gotta know people. Like
yeah. So
how'd you get it?
I found a GTS on OfferUp.
That's crazy.
What? OfferUp? Okay, you didn't try that hard. It was just there.
And like I checked every day though. And he had it up for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, I'm on the way. I'm coming to your house.
Oh wow. Was it stock?
Yeah, it was stock.
No, that's dope.
Is that the one you called me about?
I don't know, probably. I feel bad because I kept telling Benson like all my ideas, and I'm like, I'm dragging this guy through the mud with me, but all my ideas of what I'm gonna do. I feel so bad. Like, sorry.
Nah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, son. Go ahead, son. Do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And here we are today. So did you tell me about it real quick? The color, the face, everything.
Okay, so it's a Zenki coupe with a 11 front end.
Nice.
And I have full Apex 11 parts on it. So full interior.
Wow.
I have the wing, the trunk, the side skirts, everything. All OEM.
Okay, very nice.
You're kind of fancy.
It's so expensive. It's not worth it. It's stock for AG.
Okay. Yeah. Is it like a? Is it like a? Is it slammed? Is it? Yeah, or is it like a museum car? What?
So I have TRD suspension with 2A TRD LSD, and it has long champs.
Nice.
It's pretty much a D-Day.
What? 15s or 14s?
Or 17s.
14s, nice.
Nice.
I like it.
That's really true. I like that. That's
and nice. I painted the bumper, just the bumper tip, because that's how I know how to build Corollas.
Okay.
Not like the whole bumper, you know.
Yeah.
I have the fog lights.
Okay.
So.
Did you
got the fog lights? You got the fog lights in the grill, or you got the fog lights on the bumper?
So I have the fog lights in the grill with the 11 grill in front to cover it. So when I turn the button on, it turns on.
Oh, sick! Nice.
Mm-hmm. Do you put HIDs on those cars?
You can.
You know, the 11 stuff came with like really cool bulbs, so I didn't change it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All that stuff's hard to get.
You know what I had to do to get it?
What?
I bought a full Apex 11 from Japan as a parts car that's non-registerable, and I stripped it and I put it on the GTS.
Okay.
Oh my god! And then you had to cut.
And what'd you do with the rest?
I sold everything else, and I actually made all my money back from buying the parts car.
Nice, dude.
Dang.
It was a lot of work, though.
I'm sure.
I didn't think I was capable of swapping all that stuff over still.
Still.
That's dope. I love that. Thank you for sharing. That's a fun story.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like the headlights too. The headlight situation. Benson and I had a conversation yesterday. We're like looking at our Z and we're like, is it HID or not?
The headlights are not good.
Stupid. Our headlights
are not
suck.
good.
Yeah. That's our topic of our conversation yesterday when we were getting boba. Is these headlights suck? And we have need new ones.
You know, as a human species, we have such good technology, good like well-developed technology. Why do our headlights still suck?
In 2008, right? Like our Z's made in 2008 and our headlights suck. But anyway, sorry. Off topic. Sorry.
I love the Z though. I love that car. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you could get one too.
I think so.
And we'll be like Z buddies.
And
wait, Lance, do you consider yourself more a Toyota guy or a Nissan guy?
Oh yeah.
I'm a Toyota guy at heart.
Okay.
But I had to go to Nissan because that was available to me to get to the next level.
I know what you mean. It's just at that time you had the S14 and you were competing. There was a lot of horsepower out there, right? So, but let's now that we're on that subject, let's talk about that.
Cool.
How did you get into cars? How did you get into drifting?
So my father was a rally driver in the 80s.
Oh, that's cool. What's your father's name?
Larry Feliciano.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
So he raced for Mitsubishi, and back in the 80s, the cars were...
He was pro.
Yeah. So the cars were rear-wheel drive, so the cars were always going sideways in all the turns. And that's kind of like what his driving style was. So he was already good at like flipping the car sideways in the turns. So
did you get to ride with him then?
I was too young to like watch him race in the rally series.
Okay.
But by the time that I was old enough, he was already racing autocross here in the US.
Nice.
Yeah, so he still had his driving style, I guess you could say, which is rally in autocross. So he would still be like doing donuts around the cones or like coming sideways around the turns and stuff like that.
They let him do that.
No, he would get a lot of DNFs for sure.
They didn't get. He didn't get yelled at or kicked out.
Oh yeah, for sure he did.
I think it's because he's older, right? And he's probably fast. So if you're fast, they kind of let you get away with things.
If they know you're in control, you're okay.
Yeah.
But if you're like kind of hitting all the cones, they're kicking you out for sure.
Yeah. Like they did to Benson.
They did to me.
Yeah. Terrible. He's such a misfit.
Well, I had to drift somewhere.
Drifting was kind of like a misfit thing back then.
Yeah, it still is, I think.
Is it?
I think it's less misfit now.
I still
because it's more mainstream now.
It is, but I feel like it still has like a skateboarder kind of vibe to it.
Oh, like
maybe
it's not a upper echelon kind of motorsport yet.
I guess there's you have pro drifters who are not seen like that, and then maybe like all the amateurs are. I feel like they're seen like skateboarders.
It's true.
Yeah. And then there's us.
What? Washed drifters?
Washed up. Washed.
I'm on that side too.
Yeah. The washed. We're Zanky washed. Reese's Chuki washed. Oh my god.
Okay, so your dad was a serious racer, right?
Yes, he was. Yes.
And when he was doing autocross here, you got to witness that? You got to sit in the cars and stuff?
Yeah, so they didn't let me be in the car during the autocross racing, but I was always there, like helping the boys with their cars, and, giving the waters and watching the runs.
Oh, that's so cute. That is adorable.
God. I like that because like
guarding the tires.
Guarding the tires.
Yeah, watch the pit for us, son.
Make sure no one steals my Panasports.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like no joke.
And I would run to my dad like, he has fake Panasports. It doesn't say for racing purpose on the wheel.
Oh my god. Oh my
hilarious.
Gosh. These are good. That is good.
I want to talk to Lance about his journey with drifting.
My goodness.
Before we get
you
there.
started so young, Lance. How old were you?
No, we're not there.
No. At autocross?
I was like, even before, maybe like 7 or 8.
Oh my gosh. You got
and
such
you
a
loved
head
cars.
start.
You loved cars then, or were you kind of just hanging out with Dad?
To be honest, I was a A86 like die-hard fanatic at the time. Because my dad's crew was a A86 crew, so we had like 8 Corollas at the autocross event.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see like Moto and Taka and those guys there?
Not yet. I seen Moto. I seen Taka later on. Because if they had Corollas, I would definitely have recognized them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't. I didn't see them there yet. I seen them more towards the end.
Okay.
Of like the autocross stuff that I was going to.
Okay.
That's so cool. Oh.
And then you eventually got old enough to have your own car.
Yes.
And you got
a Corolla.
You got a Corolla. And
actually,
how old were you?
My dad gave me the blue Corolla. That Corolla. He gave me that Corolla.
Yeah.
And I started off with
Did he make you deliver tofu or?
I wish. That car wasn't running at the time because
he gave you a non-running car.
It wasn't his fault. He asked me which Corolla I wanted, and that was the Corolla that I wanted. Okay. Because he had multiple, and I could have chose the one with the running 4AG whatever.
You knew it wasn't running.
I wanted the race car.
Oh, the race car. Okay.
He wanted fancy, like from the get-go.
I wanted race car. I wanted like no seats. I wanted the TRD LSD. Okay. I wanted everything.
Did you feel like that scene in Karate Kid when Mr. Miyagi was like, Daniel-san, pick which one you want?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, I couldn't wait. I was like in my bed, like crying, dreaming, wishing I could drive my car. Wow. So the moment I was able to drive, I didn't like stay home. I was going to every parking lot in Mexico, by the way. I'm just kidding. No, I was going to every parking lot that would allow me to do donuts and stuff like that, So that's probably
your first car was a race car.
It was. I couldn't afford to do a 4EG.
Okay, so what was in there?
I put a 4AC because that's all I could afford at the time.
Wow. Okay.
Because that car was originally Formula One Atlantic 4AG carbureted.
Oh.
So when that motor blew, I didn't have enough money to go fuel injected, so I went 4AC just to get it running.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
And Aerodyne did it.
Oh my gosh, wow, Aerodyne. Hey, shout out Quinn. And
Andy.
Oh yeah, them too. Man, did you go to the Aerodyne Gymkhana days?
Yes, I did.
Man, we going back.
Did you drive those events?
I didn't. I wasn't old enough.
You were too young. Okay.
Yes. Oh, but I did drive one time.
Okay, you were at like the end. Everything.
I went to everything I could have. Yeah.
Did you drive to that Shine Street meet?
No.
No, because he was like
15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like riding with my friends at the time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. You were that was like the perfect time for you to be into cars because all of that stuff was happening. Like drifting was really
it was starting to get
accessible.
accessible.
It was in its infancy, but things were happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had your Hachiroku. Where did it go from there? Like, how did you start actually going to events, and
let me rephrase it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us the first time you fell in love with drifting.
Okay, so that goes all the way back to what we're here for. You want to go there?
No,
I want to go there.
Yeah, I know you want to. I know you want to, but
the listeners want you to go there.
Okay.
But let's talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh,
the voice of reason. He's always like.
How did I get out of a Corolla into an S14? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Well, tell us about your journey. Like, how did you go from that to becoming a Pro-Am driver?
Okay, so basically, when I had that 4AC Corolla, I parked it at my friend's house because my mom didn't know that I was driving. So I was literally, I parked it at my, sorry mom. I parked it at my friend Adrian's house.
Yeah.
And I would bike to his house and I would drive the Corolla around and then ride my bike back home like nothing happened.
Dang.
And to be honest with you, during those days, Hondas were super in. So
yes.
I got clowned on a lot in high school.
Yeah.
Calling my car a Back to the Future car.
Yeah.
And
that's not cool. That's bullying.
Sadly, I ended up selling it.
Because of the bullying?
Because of the bullying?
Correct, yeah.
Wow. That's
for $2,500. And I know who has it still. The guy I sold it to still has it. I'm going to try to buy it back one day.
You get that back. You get that back. How did your dad feel when you sold it?
He was pissed because it had a TRD2 ALSD, TRD suspension, everything, you know?
Well, at least it didn't have the Formula Atlantic in there.
Yeah, it didn't. So I sold that. I got an EF9 to fit in.
Uh-huh.
And
oh my gosh.
I hated it. I totally hated it. I was still drifting that thing with the e-brake. So I ended up selling that and I bought another Corolla. But this time I bought a Coupe GTS Zenki Coupe A86. So I knew that it was game time during that time. Mm-hmm. I wasn't 16 yet. I didn't have my license yet. So I was already fixing it up. I had like mini lights. I had TRD LSD.
You were on your third car and you weren't 16 yet?
Yeah, I was 16. And I bought this car with my own cash. I was working at a pizza place to do this. So as soon as I got my license, I knew that it was go time.
Yeah.
This is my journey. I got to start, right? So
right.
I remember telling myself, like, the guys who want to go to the NBA, they practice basketball every single day.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to go to the canyons every day.
Every day. I love it.
Like, as much as I could, I was like trying to go to like industrial areas and to the toge and just try to learn my car.
What toge you drive?
Turnbull was my canyon.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mark, Turnbull haunted Mark. I remember that. Mark would do Turnbull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our sound engineer.
It had a little good, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I've actually never been.
Really?
I think we've been in the daytime, but not in the nighttime.
It's so close. I've never been.
I know. Because we're always at the...
Because GMR is too dangerous for, like, any kid to be up there.
Yeah. Right? Word. For sure. But not too dangerous for us. Kids, stay home.
That's right.
Only for the Zankies.
That's what Sims are for.
You know, truthfully, even at a pro level, the guys who are really good at driving, even they would have a hard time drifting in those turns up in GMR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we were there racing all the time, that's when we started drifting, but we were there mainly for like grip driving.
Mm-hmm.
Grip driving,
yeah.
Not to drift.
We'd only do donuts.
Yeah.
On the top.
we would do donuts. We would drift like a corner here or a corner there, or connect a corner here and there, but like it was not drifting the whole thing like they do in Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
So, I was in my Corolla, and since I was always drifting, in the parking lots, somebody seen me, and he told somebody, and they re-invited me to drift in that same parking lot again. That one person was his name is Trin Salala. He's still my friend till this day.
Okay.
So he pretty much like discovered me in the parking lots.
Yeah.
And said, I'm gonna help you turn pro.
Oh,
wow.
So
he was a scout.
He was a scout. He owned Daily Driven magazine.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm going to pay for your events, and I'm going to put a big sticker on your car.
Oh, wow.
And blah, blah, blah. And my first event ever was D1 driver search at Orlando.
What?
You wanted to go hard.
You're my God.
Go big or go home, guys.
I realized at that moment that, like, I am not ready for this.
Yeah.
But you had a sponsor. You're like, dude, I gotta do this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, dang.
But I do remember watching you drift early on, and I knew you had it. Like you had it's just in your blood. Like you were good from the beginning.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, duh, because you went to Toge every day.
Yeah, but who
or parking lots. I was just
or
driving every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were self-taught.
I was actually, because my dad
That's
wasn't
amazing.
around. He was in the Philippines at that time.
Okay.
So, I remember like mastering donuts.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
First gear donuts, and I blew my motor doing that. And I was like pushing it too hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, when I get my new motor, I'm gonna go into second gear.
Nice.
So I started drifting second gear turns. Only left though, because the 1.5 LSD wasn't letting me kick it to the right. So I would only do left. And if I wasn't gonna do any right turns, I would manji into the next turn, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I learned. So when I actually did like my first couple of events with the Corolla, I was able to drift. I just didn't understand the lines.
Yeah.
You know, and clipping points.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like all over the place, you know?
Right. You were drifting the course, but like there are a lot of fine points that you have to be trained to understand those concepts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I realized that early on.
Yeah.
And my sponsor told me, he said, I thought he was going to drop me when he seen me like do horrible. And he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. You have to make a decision. Do you want to turn pro or do you want to be an 8.6 driver forever?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dang, that's... I guess I can always go back to a Corolla later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided to go into an S13. So I
Okay.
sold the Corolla at that time for like $4,000. My sponsor gave me an S13 shell. With that $4K, I was able to buy a SR, black top SR, 2A LSD, and some like blown HKS suspension.
Okay.
So like literally at that time, that was already pretty fast for
Yeah.
that age.
Those are
Yeah.
all the things you needed. What air quotes needed.
Yeah.
Right? To like be able to even
That's the
like...
formula.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I got in that car, the car looked horrible, by the way.
What color was it? Were you going to Drift Day?
It was matte black because that's all I could afford at the time. It was just like spray painted black.
Yeah.
Had the pig nose front bumper with the lip.
Yeah.
He said pig nose.
Yeah. I know. Just the second time.
I had my bride seat
Yeah.
fully gutted with a blacktop SR.
Nice.
And the car was pretty fast. I didn't have like a red line. I don't know why. I think the person in Japan who had it before me was like a chipped ECU or something.
Okay. So that's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. So I started actually, I competed at Just Drift
Okay.
in their first competition in that car. And that was like my first competition ever. And I remember during that time, there was no tandem. It was just all qualifying laps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all
So-
solo runs. Was
Exactly.
I judging that event?
Not yet. Taco
Okay.
was.
Okay.
And I was drifting. And because I'm a street drifter, my style wasn't really like, it wasn't it, you know? I didn't really qualify. So I got fourth at that event.
That's good.
Because I stuck my hand out the window. Yeah.
You got swag.
That's
It was
skills
at the
right
oval.
there.
It was at the oval.
Okay.
And it didn't
And
make you spin.
And my mom was there. And then Taka pulled me aside after and said, "Hey, you're a good driver, but you can't put your hand out the window like that."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. I just got excited. I thought I was gonna win or something, you know? So that event was very important to me because my mom, which didn't really support my drifting at that time, she was able to see like my true passion. Yeah. So all those parking lot drifting stuff that I was doing, she seen me actually compete that day. Right. So that was the day that she
was on board after that.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
I think a lot of us, like, we don't get our parents to see, like, what we do, like the racing stuff. Like, Benson's mom went once, he choked, she never came again. My mom never came, my dad never came, and they just would, like, so it's, I know it's really special. I don't know when if it's an
Asian thing, because Asian
I don't think they want us to do that. They don't want
Asian
us to
parents
do that.
want you to have a career in like racing. Medicine or you know.
Yeah, exactly.
My mom's white. She didn't come see me.
It was such a big deal back then. I mean, Benson, like, those drift show-off days were huge.
Yeah.
You were there too?
Yeah, I went to all. Wow. I was the one stealing the banners from the walls.
Nice.
For my room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so when my mom found out that, like, okay, my son really wants to do this, she backed me. So
that's awesome.
They got
I met your mom. I remember her.
Yeah. This is when it changed for me, though. She got a inheritance or something. A lot of money came into her possession. And she ended up buying me a J-Specs S14.5.
That's right.
Oh, you fancy.
It was
the silver blue one.
Gray. Or yeah. I was gonna say gray. It is kind of a gray.
A lot of you guys got your D1 license in. Alex Pfeiffer. I think Andy
a lot of people drove that car. I never drove that car. Alex Pfeiffer. I remember when he drove that car for the first time at RSR Drift Festival. And he's like, I can't drift this. Like the turbo is way too laggy. That was the first time that car saw the track.
That car had the biggest turbo in life. Like it kicked in at like 5,000 RPM.
Yeah. But when it kicked in, it made a lot of power.
Yeah. Yes. So when she bought me that thing, I remember coming outside. She said, "There's a tow truck outside. I want you to receive the car that I got."
You had no idea what she got.
No, I didn't know.
How did she know to get that one?
I don't know.
What?
I have no idea.
Wow! Shout out to moms. She's smart, man.
She got that car, and it came out.
Oh my god!
And I remember like the tow truck dropping it in front of my house, and I was like, "Oh, this is game time. If I can't make it this, I suck. I gotta think of another career because this is like manifestation at its finest." I dreamt about this moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't even have a tow truck or a trailer at the time, so I drove it to Irwindale, and she like tailed me in her car.
Oh, that's sick. I love it. That's when you know you're OG, right? Like you're going to the track in your drift car and you're like, can you follow me really close?
I had no license plate, full roll cage. That car was fully done.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. That's sick.
I remember when I went to Irwindale, I never drifted the bank before. So
yeah, and you probably hadn't drifted where there's walls all around you. There's nowhere to mess up.
Yeah, right? I've never even drifted a car that fast before. I mean, the S13 was only like 240 horsepower, if anything, 220. Yeah. So this one was like 500. So I said, okay, I gotta figure this out. I can't like baby the bank in this car. Everyone's gonna clown me. So I remember starting really low, like almost like brushing the grass on the bottom to get to the top.
Nice. I love it.
It took like a whole day to get it, but
we're gonna call you Game Time now. Lance, aka Game Time.
Yeah, the car was cool.
I love it.
That's so touching that your mom did all of that for you.
That's
like
love.
once it
she made my dreams
her,
come true on that one for sure.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
She must have, maybe she called your dad.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
That's so cool. That's really neat. Oh.
Tell us what happened next.
So I got the J-Spec S14. I did a few Irwindale practice events before D1 driver search again. And I remember at that time, I'm not going to mention any shop's name, but I had the shop that was helping me kind of retune it.
Yeah.
So I could drive it for D1 driver search.
I think I know what shop you're talking about.
When I got there, the car wasn't running.
Yeah.
So I had no practice. And I remember I had the bank dialed in at that time. I remember that the non-pro drivers got to practice first. So we had like 2 hours of practice. And they got my car running 5 minutes before practice.
Oh my gosh.
And I was so eager. I was like, I'm going first. So I was the first in line.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. So I get in the car and I'm like, first, second, third. I let off the gas and my throttle is stuck on the floor.
Oh no.
Yes. So I'm like, I kick the clutch and I'm like riding the bank the whole way. Coming in, third gear still. And then I let go of the gas and I just like literally glide sideways throughout the whole course.
Yeah.
And I turned the car off like mid-track.
Yeah.
And I'm still gliding into the course. And then all the Japanese drivers are like,
you did it on accident.
And I was like,
you're like, game time, bow down.
So I go in the pit and I'm yelling at the tuner. I'm like, yo, I could have died. Like, if I didn't kick that clutch, I would have like flew straight into that wall.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I guess they didn't tie in the TPS sensor, so it got stuck open.
It's an amateur hour right there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Come on, name the shop. Come on.
No,
Are they still open?
I don't think so.
You qualified, right?
Then it doesn't even matter.
I didn't qualify. I ended up blowing my motor.
Oh, dang.
Because of that shop.
Probably.
Bad tuning.
Yeah.
Who is it? Come on, tell us.
No. I don't want to. It's okay.
That's my heavy-hitting question.
That's racing. That's racing.
It happens.
It happens. He didn't charge me, but I ended up paying a lot more
that was,
later on. You know?
Yeah.
But I learned that I could drift the bank full throttle.
Yeah, I mean, what
when you had to.
What better way to learn?
Right? Before that, I was kind of like low and mid.
Yeah. You were working your way up, right?
Yeah,
slowly.
That one taught me that I can go in full throttle. So
that's dope.
That changed my driving trajectory, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What a cool story. I love that.
And then you got into Pro-Am.
Yeah, so after that, we rebuilt the motor, and I did a Just Drift FD series, which I was like falling super low behind. I was like 8th place. I don't know why. We couldn't dial in the motor. We couldn't rebuild the motor like how J-Spec did it. We were going everywhere we could, and we just couldn't like get the motor right. So I was like actually going through a really rough patch during that time, not qualifying and driving the car to all these events.
Yeah.
And I guess like I just missed the I was like 8th place, so I wasn't getting invited to the Pro-Am event. But they had a driver search at Irwindale. And I was like, this is my chance. If I win this, I'll get invited to the Pro-Am Nationals.
Right.
So I took it to Steve Rogers at SR Motor Cars back then. And I was like, hey, I need you to tune this car so I could win this event. So he tuned it. And he was like, hey, how are you driving this car? This car sucks. Like, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. So he tuned it and he realigned my car. And I didn't have an alignment before then. I was just driving. I just thought it was me, you know? So it's so important to have like good alignment specs.
Yeah.
Your car tuned. So I won that event.
Nice.
Went to nationals and I got 2nd overall there.
Nice.
So that's where I got my FD license.
That is so cool.
Was that in Vegas or where was that event?
It was in Reno, actually.
Reno. That's the one with the jump, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So me and Justin Pollock.
You and Justin Pollock.
We went one more time, like 2-3 times.
That's right. I remember watching. I might have those videos on my computer.
My car was about to blow up. I swear.
It was way too many one more times.
Yeah. So I ended up winning that, and that's where me and Justin got our Pro-Am license.
Yeah.
That's so
cool. Were you and Justin tight before then?
Oh yeah. So we did the whole Just Drift series together.
Yeah.
our whole like rookie, like
Yeah.
pro, amateur practice was all us pitting next to each other.
Yeah.
Helping each other out.
Did he have the green FC?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Justin now?
He's still doing Formula D.
Oh, he is?
Shout
out, Justin.
You guys were both very good drivers back then.
Yes,
and
I remember.
And I felt like you and Justin were on pretty similar levels.
Yeah.
When you see Justin Pollock today and seeing what he's doing, do you think like I could be there too?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I tell him like, just put me in your last year rookie car, and I'm
yeah.
But yeah, I do. Justin is a different driver. I know Justin's driving ability is very like Reese Millen. Like he's a robot.
Yeah.
You know? And Justin is just like so consistent when it comes to that stuff, you know? My driving is more passionate, which puts me into like an emotional state. If I'm in a good state that day, I'll do really well. Or if I'm like not focused that day or something, like I'll do horrible. So I'm kind of like all over the place. But Justin's a robot. He's always been a robot since the beginning.
Yeah.
He it comes from like his soccer. I think he played soccer in college. So playing like professional or high rankings like sport.
He knows how to deal with all the pressure.
Correct.
Yeah. We were just talking about pressure, feeling the pressure.
The pressure is everything, really.
Oh yeah.
The mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. I meet people who compete, and then that's the difference between like a winner and like someone else who's just like still grassroots and, you know, not taking it too seriously. It's like amazing how in tune and like focused and robotic you gotta be to, you know?
Yeah. I feel like,
really...
you know, like with professional driving and Benson, you know more of that than I do. But like, I feel like it matters more when you're in competition. You can be the best driver in the world, but like if you can't block all that out during competition, it doesn't do anything. Right?
Yeah, your head's got to be right for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of pro drivers have like head coaches these days.
Oh yeah,
to deal with that stuff. So yeah, it's a big thing.
So important for sure.
I think we're ready.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
My gosh. Okay, finally I can ask my heavy hitting. It's not even a heavy hitting question. All right, here we go, Lance. Tell me about the first time you fell in love with drifting.
Okay, so I remember I'm going to start with this like how we got invited to that event.
What event? Tell us what the event was.
Tell us the year, tell us the location.
Okay.
Go deep.
So Option Video left a message in our answering machine inviting my dad's A86 crew to do the first ever drift competition in the US. And this was around 1995, I believe.
Okay.
At Willow Springs, at Streets of Willow in Willow Springs. So I remember he played the recording for me to listen to it. And it was like a translator inviting us to this drift competition. And I remember that I was watching these Option videos of like all the same color car tandems in Option before that, but I never seen it live. So I didn't even think it was possible to do that type of driving in America. I just like always felt like only in Japan this happens.
Like that's for the Japanese, yeah.
Correct. And like, how do they even do that, you know? So my dad gathered, I think, like 4 of the 86s. And I remember going to that event that day. And my mind was just super blown. Like, seeing it in person and, like, smelling the tires. And the continuing tires, like, screeching the whole way throughout the track was just, like, surreal to me.
So you were 8 years old.
Yeah, I was 8, yeah.
And you were already familiar with Option Video. That you were already familiar with Keiichi, Tsuchiya,
exactly.
and Nomuken, who was also there, and drifting. That's earlier than when I got into it. I didn't know about that in 1995.
I didn't even watch cartoons. I watched Option Video.
Wow.
And I remember like I would have to do this when like the girl parts would come
on. Your dad would make you, or you did that on your own?
No, he would make me. Like I'm not allowed to watch.
Cover your ears, close your eyes.
Yeah, with the pointer with the poop on it. Yeah, it was so cool to see like Keiichi in real life as well.
Yeah,
it was,
man, I can't imagine what that does to an 8-year-old who's into like deeply into that stuff already.
Yeah, and the cool part was when we got there, they were giving everyone ride-alongs in a right-hand drive 180SX.
180SX, yeah,
a gray one. I remember
brand new Keiichi 180SX.
Yeah, and every driver that registered got to do a ride-along before the competition, and my dad was like, let my son go
instead of him.
Yeah.
Wow, dad is dope, man.
Yeah.
You're the best cool. Parents, Lance. Jeez.
So I got to ride, but the tire popped with me in the car.
That's okay.
But
that's
it didn't.
Cool still.
It didn't last too long. But like, yeah, that was enough. That was enough for sure.
Oh my god.
Do you remember if Keiichi said anything to you?
No, he didn't. It wasn't really Keiichi driving during that time. It was I think it was Magic Monkey and someone else.
Yeah.
There was someone else that was there as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure who it was. I think it was a Rito or something. I don't know. He was the one that was driving when I was there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us what it was. Take us through the day, because you told me before this interview that you have very vivid memory of how it all went down. Yeah.
So that was my first time at Willow Springs too. So I was always used to going to like autocross events, Fontana,
parking lot stuff.
But that was the first time we all drove out to Willow Springs, and I remember us towing our car there that day.
Okay.
And it was a long drive for us. So when we got there, we were all staged around Streets of Willow, and I remember like the Japanese drivers were just drifting around the course with the 180.
Yeah.
So just seeing that in like real life was like, it made like movie. You know when you watch like Marvel superheroes, in my eyes that was fake, right? I mean that looked like it was like movie production stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about like Option Video. You know, I didn't think that was real.
Right.
But like seeing it in person made me feel that it was possible at that moment. Yeah. So I was like, yo, I want to do this.
Yeah.
That's when I decided like I want to do this in my life. I don't care.
Right.
You know? So yeah, it was I was really mind blown watching that.
And you remember your dad driving that event?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember him complaining that he chose the wrong tires.
What was wrong with his tires?
Were they his like autocross tires, so they're too grippy?
Or something.
Oh man.
R compound, not good for drifting.
He had R compounds in a 480G, you know. And my dad's a really good driver. He knows how to like. He's really fast, and he knows how to get the car sideways in certain areas and be in control. Right. But like going from turn to turn like that, he didn't know how to like connect it. You know?
Right, because when you're a rally driver, you're not kicking the clutch to connect the corners. Way. You don't have to do that, right? You just stay on the gas, you adjust your line.
You're coming in hot and just flooring it all the way through. Yeah. So he was doing that, and he was saying that the car was gripping. He was complaining the whole time. Yeah. And I thought my dad was going to do really well. But the guys that had like cheap tires were the ones that were killing it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
I know Brian Norris was there as well.
Brian Norris was there. Did you get a chance to meet him?
Yeah. He was friends with my dad in a third degree. Okay. Because all the A86 guys at that time knew each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about Brian several times.
He comes up several times in this podcast.
Yeah. He's pretty OG, huh?
He's very OG. He's one of the earliest stateside, but he's also the most mysterious.
Yeah.
To this day, we've put messages out to him and everything, and he's just like wants to remain.
He's cool staying in the shadows.
Yeah,
and that's how I remember him, because anytime I'd see him, it was always at Toge at night, right?
Really?
So like I felt like I didn't really know what he looked like, because I always saw him at night, right? There's no lights up there. Yeah, I knew he was white
in a weird ass car too.
Yeah, and so like. The first time I saw him in the day, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." Like seeing him in the daylight, like actually getting to see his face. But like, yeah, he was always a good driver, and he was always super nerdy. He was like one of the most nerdiest drift guys that I knew.
Yeah.
And he had been into it for so long.
Yeah. If you guys want to hear more about Brian Norris, we talked about him in the Tommy Chen episode.
Yep.
Tommy Chen from Speed Trial, so because he helped put up that event. So we talked a lot about where you were at.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
So I would say at that event there were only two guys that kept going after that event. Kept drifting and kept the culture alive from that day, and that is Brian Norris, and that's you, Lance.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, because everyone else, I feel like everyone else kind of, they showed up to the event to just see how it goes or just do something fun.
They showed up because they were invited, but none of their cars were set up for it. I mean,
no one did it back then.
Even
maybe
Reese
Brian Norris.
Millen. No, it was Rod Millen. It was Reese's dad that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a Supra or something.
Yeah, and that's another. I mean, you guys, not you guys, but like. All the guys that were there, they're all like race car drivers.
Yes.
Right? So they know how to slide a car, but sliding a car is not the same as drifting.
Power sliding.
Practice was horrible. Like everyone was spinning out. Like
in the competition, everyone was spinning out.
I remember who was that guy? It was this other driver. He liked my car so much, or my dad's car so much. Mm-hmm. And he asked if he could drive it.
Uh-huh.
And he tried to drive it, but he couldn't drive it either because the tires were so sticky.
Too grippy.
Yeah.
It was a time trial, like setup.
Yeah. Didn't your dad know better? He knew it was a drift event, right?
I mean, he knew. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. It was funny because when you sent me that video, I sent it to him, and I posted it as well.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Let everybody know that my tires were slicks." I'm like, I'm not saying nothing.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
That's funny because I always remember at drift days, those early drift days, Ken Gushi and his dad would show up to the track. And so many times Ken's dad would show up, Gushi-san would show up with slicks on his Hachinoku. What are you doing? You're coming to a drift event with slicks on. It was like an old rally guy thing.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like, that's all they know. They don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's
they
really
don't know that like regular tires in the back is the best.
Especially in a Hachinoku.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's funny.
Yeah, that day was really cool. I didn't even know that like that was the first drift event ever until you mentioned it yesterday.
I don't know the technicalities of it. It is, I think it's the first drifting competition, but I'm not sure if I can say it's the first. It's got to be the first drift event.
I don't know.
It has to be.
I'm not sure.
mean, 95, there was nothing like that.
There was nothing.
In Cali. Cali. I don't know it in Hawaii. Alex Pfeiffer.
Yeah, but he didn't have a drift event in 95.
I think he did. Or he was about to. You got to go refer back to your episodes.
I don't know.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out the timing of that because Alex was also doing his first event at Hawaii Motor Speedway. So around that time, but he went.
I wish they didn't shut that track down because you guys, Hawaii.
Yeah.
They
Everyone
were getting really good. They were getting really good.
They had something very special over there.
They were raw for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? They still have something special because those guys are still friends to this day.
Yeah.
And they're still bonded by drifting, Yeah. And a lot of them still are into the cars. And it's nice.
And they still have their cars.
Yeah,
and the cars were dope too. Like that.
So dope.
Sick.
Justin's Corolla.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just hanging out with the Corolla.
We saw it.
That car is sick. It was like burgundy or something.
Yeah.
That car was cool.
I agree.
Oh.
So that's the day you fell in love with drifting.
Yeah, that was the day I realized that there was nothing else I'm going to do besides that. I couldn't sleep until I was like 16 years old after that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great. And so what did your dad say to you? Or do you remember your dad's mood for the rest of the day after that event? Like,
he was just like, he was pretty pissed off that he didn't do well.
He didn't do well.
And he definitely choked during like his qualifying lap because he only had one lap to be recorded.
Yeah. Yeah.
He understeered and then like it whipped out at the end, but like it wasn't even a turn anymore.
Right.
We understand.
But the car looked cool.
Yeah, it looked good.
If you guys see the back window, it has like a yellow sticker on the window. It says Lance's toy on the.
Oh, that's
dope.
Adorable.
On that car.
So sweet.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where's that car now?
Mark has it. The guy I sold it to, his name's Mark.
Okay. Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, I tried to buy it.
Okay.
Several times. He told me that if he was to resell it again, he'll sell it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually.
That sucks. If.
It probably costs like $40,000.
I know, right? Man.
It'll be like $1 million car. He's like, I'm about to bring it to an auction. Do you want it?
That car has a lot of sentimental value.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure.
if I could build it and then give it back to my dad, I would be happy.
Wow.
Yeah. No pressure, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Did your dad see the change in you after that event?
I don't know. I think the reason why racing to me was like so emotional, like why I wanted it so bad was that was like the way that my father and I bonded, like we watched option videos together, and that was something he was so proud of, that his kid knew what like a 4AG was.
Yeah.
What
he can spot fake Panasports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those are mini lights. Those are not bad.
Yeah.
So that was the way we bonded. So
That's
I don't
cool.
think it was really like drifting at that time.
Yeah.
I just knew that like he was good at rally.
Yeah.
So I have to be good at this. At a young age, I knew that, like, especially since drifting was just coming around during the time that I was like of age.
Yeah.
I felt like this was my time.
Look at that timing.
The timing was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ken was over here just like, like being he was exactly the same age as me at the time too.
Wow.
What a trip. Striking while the iron was hot.
What a trip.
It really was. Dope. It was so expensive though. I didn't know how I was going to do it.
Yeah.
But it worked itself out somehow.
Yeah.
And I love how you got your first sponsor. Like, I think that's always the best. Like, because that's how we got I think we got our first sponsors like that too, where it's not like we asked for it. It was just kind of like,
it kind of just happened.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, cool. Thanks, I think. And oh, that's dope. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it was really cool. Even Benson, like, I remember Benson, I was doing a competition one time and you were judging.
Mm-hmm.
And like, not only did you judge like all the other judges, but like you came to me in the pit and said, this is where I think you can be better, or you should come in hotter here, or upshift here, or don't stay in the gear here. Like that stuff really helps.
I didn't do that with everyone, but Lance, I remember judging you that was a Nopi event.
Yeah.
And I saw something special in you, and I wanted to help that grow, whatever that was. I wanted to push you and help you be better. And not everyone takes advantage of like asking for a judge's insight. And so I just wanted to make sure that I could do whatever I could to help you on your journey.
That really helps, because I feel like you're judging, you know what you're looking for.
Right.
And I feel like during practice, we only know the limits that we push ourselves to. Mm-hmm. Until like an outside source tells us you could push it further, you're as a driver, you're so focused on what you need to do, right? And how
you adapt what your tools that you have in your own bag, like how to apply that to the course. But as a judge, you can see how everyone is different, and you can see that certain things are possible on the course because this person's doing it and these guys aren't doing it. So yeah, definitely, like a judge's perspective is really important if you want to grow.
Yeah, that really helped me a lot, for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah, I remember that event.
In the feels this episode.
Yeah. That was also the event that guy flipped the Viper. You remember that? Flipped it right over.
Nick Hogan.
Was it Nick Hogan?
Shout out to Nick.
Shout out to Nick.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Justin Pollock were my favorite drivers that day.
Thank you. We drove a lot together, so we always pushed each other.
Yeah.
We were winning any tandem competition we were entering because we just know each other. I felt like having a tandem partner like Justin made me realize that gave me the ability to go full ham behind him and not worry about him spinning. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a robot.
Yeah, he's a robot. I'm like, you go, I'll just drive behind you.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys gotta build. You gotta go enter a final bout together. Yeah, rekindle.
I don't know. Justin's so much faster now. I wouldn't be able to keep up with him.
Well, he's got to build go back to the roots car
RX 7 days.
Yes.
Yeah. So Lance, you have your Hachiroku now. Do you have plans to drift it, or are your plans to simply just make a good A86?
I do. I got invited to drift it at Hoonigan just to mess around. I did try to drift it a little bit, but it's way too slow for my liking at the moment. So I'm gonna try to just keep this car on ice because I feel like beating up a Corolla these days is not really financially smart.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
But I'm down to just have fun with it, like how I was back in the day.
Right.
And I'm just trying to find the passion again.
Yeah. Right. I would say that these days you're passionate about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know where drifting fits into that, but do you see any you see rekindling your relationship with drifting anytime soon?
Absolutely.
Or in the future?
I've done so much other stuff, but nothing can compare to the way drifting makes you feel.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Amen on that.
It's something else. It's magical for sure, but it costs so much money to get there.
It does.
Because you got to have the right car. The car has to be dialed in.
And the time, to do all that, right?
It's so expensive. Yeah. At one point, it cost me $1,500 just to get the car out to the track with the race fuel and the truck and the trailer and the tires. If you have 400 horsepower plus, you can't rock tires anymore.
Yeah, you gotta have good tires, wide tires, good grippy tires. Yeah.
But
how much is race gas now?
Oh my gosh, it's probably so much now. But they have E85 now, so they didn't have that before.
Yeah, that's the modern way now.
Yeah.
But gas used to be so cheap before, remember?
It was. It's not really, didn't really matter.
How much was it? Was it $7 for race gas?
Back then?
$8? I'm trying to remember.
That's more recent. That's more recent.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Oh, that was so fun.
Or you can just get a Z.
I think the Z is a perfect platform to just drive. And if we were to give advice to anybody who wants to get into drifting, the Z is a perfect car to do it in, for sure.
Yeah.
Because the 240, you need to swap the motor.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you can't drive it in California.
Yeah, it's becoming like the Hachiroku where it's are you going to keep it on ice or are you going to bash on it and then you crash it and it's hard to replace? And I don't know.
That's the thing about today's car guys and car guys before. I feel like before, car guys wanted to build the cars to drive.
Yeah.
Now car guys are building their cars and they don't even know what the cars can do.
Yeah. Exactly. I hate that.
It's a project. Because, I mean, you have to...
They're going for 500 horsepower already.
Yeah. But back in the day, you could pick up an S13, S14 pretty cheap, right? Yeah. So you didn't have to prepare for that financial hit like you have to today. Correct. Right? So it kind of puts you in project car mode, just knowing I have to have all this money just so that I can get the car, then I gotta get it running, and you're just prepared for it. I don't know. I think it's different.
And like I feel like, seat time is really where the most important thing.
Yeah.
Julian Jacobs.
Yeah.
I got to ride in his 350Z.
Oh, you did?
That thing is crazy.
Well, and Julian's crazy.
That's why. Julian's crazy.
Yeah.
If you want to know like what somebody can physically do with a car on the drift track, Julian is the one to ride with.
Yeah, so when I to the edge.
So when I seen him, I don't get scared when I ride with people, but when I rode with him, I like literally was like looking for those handle, like, oh my god.
Yeah, agreed. I tell him all the time. I'm like, when I rode with him, the only thing that I can compare that to is when we rode with Team Orange in their cars.
Same. Yeah.
Like he was the only American driver that I rode with that took me back to those days. How close those guys are, how confident and sure of like where they're putting the car, and he's laughing his butt off the whole time. Like he's not serious like a lot of American drivers, So
he's a great driver. He's a good driver.
Yeah, agreed.
He's
that's crazy. I think that's my most recent in-car experience was driving with Julian.
Yeah.
Like
in which car? The 350?
You rode with Jason.
Did I ride with Jason too?
I did. Horse Thief.
I went to both. I think I rode with both at Horse Thief, but recently.
And I love how all those cars are like back in SR20s again, because I love the SR20.
Yeah, agreed.
It's the only way to go, people.
It really is, though. Like, I miss the SR20 days with the T28 turbos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all you needed.
Wait, you put a V8 in your S14, right?
I had 2Js and V8s.
Oh, 2Js, that's right.
I did a bunch of stuff. I don't really like the V8 too much.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a turbo driver.
Yeah.
I learned how to drive with boost.
Yeah.
And I like that. So for me, turbo cars are what fits my driving ability for sure.
That's JZs are cool. That's because you're fancy.
JZs are really cool. I like JZs. If I was to build another drift car, I'd definitely be in a Chaser for sure.
That sounds like a good car to start with. A 100 or what? Which one?
Yeah, JZX 100 for sure. Yeah. I love the Chasers. I love the 1J sound.
Yeah, me too.
I actually drifted a four-door car because I was doing demos in the Philippines for a while. And they had like Zafiros, and for some reason the 4-door cars drift so much better than the 2-door cars. I don't know why. Just
that's because you like S14s. I feel like I don't know. S13 to an S14 to me is like driving a sedan. Like an S14 is really long.
It's big.
Yeah, it's long.
I feel like with S14s, no matter how hard you drive it, it looks super smooth. I don't know why. But with S13s,
it's a little raw.
So snappy.
They're snappy, yeah.
And it's like so like you can tell if you're messing up, but like you can only like S14s won't be able to get this sideways. Yeah. And like transitions,
Yeah.
Like it's so raw. So when I was driving my S14, no matter how hard I drove it, it was just like
graceful.
Right. That's kind of what the S13 SR versus S14 SR feels like to me. Like really? S14 feels more refined, more smooth. S13 feels more raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove the most boring car I've ever drifted was an S14 with the KA.
That's boring.
I was like so tired. I was like yawning. So no.
I remember the drifting pretty days.
Hell yeah.
That was cool. You had like a cool crew.
Yeah,
I know.
Agreed.
All the girls.
We still have our crew, which is amazing. I'm like so blessed to like still have them in my life.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like some of them still run their cars, and I'm just like, I love it because they're just totally like out there, like in the shadows, and I love it. Yeah,
that was a big impact. I remember like it was big with the Enki and.
Yes. Shout out to NK. Thank you so much for all the wheels.
RPF ones are my favorite wheels still.
Yep.
They're so light. I love the SBC.
I got a pair of SBCs in my trunk right now. Some RPO 3s, SBCs. Yeah.
Those are sick. I'm glad that you guys still have your guys' car and your wedding picture with the cars.
Yeah.
goals
I
right
don't
there.
know. I'm never going to sell my car. That's going to be in my estate.
For sure.
You know, that'll be in my will and trust for sure.
That thing is going to actually go up to, how much do you think it'll go up to one day?
$1 million, baby.
Priceless. That's my answer.
Yeah.
And I love the red that Benson has. Like I call him about that paint code maybe about 5
you
times.
have. You're welcome. You're welcome to use that red.
I wanted to. I wanted to build my Corolla with like a good line front bumper, no side skirts, and then that red.
Oh yeah.
You know, Steve's Hachiroku is that red.
I love it. Yeah, I talk to Steve all the time about it. Like, Steve,
let's do it. You can join the club.
Your
it's
Corolla
all good.
is so cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You guys. Adorable. Us girls don't talk like this.
No.
No, we don't.
We've just been friends for so long.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
All right, cool. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I was just kind of going with emotion with whatever you guys were saying, but
yeah,
I'm sure there's stuff we're missing, but
probably. Yeah, it's always like that. It's always gonna be like that.
Yeah.
You want to shout anyone out?
Shout out! Oh, there's so many people who helped me in my drifting career. I can't even think about everybody right now.
Yeah, I put you on the spot right now.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody that helped me achieve my goal, because I was able to achieve getting a Formula Drift license, which I wanted to be pro so bad.
Yeah.
Just, being pro was super expensive and wasn't able to continue that journey.
It's an accomplishment too, because when I started, like they just let me in. I didn't have to get a license, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So you kind of feel redeemed when you're able to do it the hard way and actually qualify, run an event, and for them to say, okay, you are good enough to have a license.
Yeah, I just barely missed that barrier to entry point.
Yeah. But it got more expensive every year, like drastically more expensive.
It's so expensive to run a team now.
Yeah.
But I do like what Final Bot's doing, and even Clutch Kickers, like they have a lot of good drivers.
Yeah, it's grassroots is awesome right now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy that that's coming back, because drifting back then was like so cool. It was like everyone is helping each other. Right. The cars were all about style, and that was what drifting was all about. So I feel like drifting kind of like lost its way for a little bit, but it's definitely coming back to.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, amen, for sure. It's back.
Yeah, and that's why, like, you're thanking everyone for helping you to get where you got in the past tense, but like I'm not closing that door on you. Yeah. So like you're still young, you still have plenty of time, and I'm excited to see you in a drift car again.
Yeah, I would love to. If I have the opportunity to jump back, I will, for sure.
Win.
And you don't need to be pro.
Yeah,
anymore,
I don't need to be
right?
pro.
Like you can still go to a really awesome event and not have to pay to have a team or travel the country.
Yeah.
To be honest, like sometimes I dream about drifting the bank. I love going really fast on the bank. It's a different feeling.
It is.
I don't think there's anything like that.
No, there's not. Especially when there's a huge crowd. When there's a sold out crowd at Irwindale, what is it, like 25,000?
I think it's just 10,000.
I don't even know. It's more people than I can count, but just like a stadium full of people watching you and cheering. It's nothing like it.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was a good experience. Yeah, it really was. It really was. Just grateful to be able to experience it, Yeah. I feel like that was because I really wanted to be pro ever since that drift event. Yeah. So it took a long time, and even you saying that, like, I came up to you to ask you how I could be pro was like a really surreal moment for me right now to even hear that, because that's how bad I wanted it.
Yeah, you wanted it bad. And I remember right after that conversation with you, I walked up to Nadine and told her what just happened, because I was just like so impressed by you.
I remember, like, oh, he's so
cute. I was flying to Japan, and there's this guy sitting next to me. His name was Gino, and he was looking at his Super Street magazine. And I guess I was also like 14 at the time. And then he told me that I told him that I was going to be a pro race car driver one day.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he just remembered me because I made an impact on him. So when I did turn pro, he reached back out to me like, "Hey, you sat next to me on the plane one day.
That's awesome.
And you said that you were gonna be a pro drift driver."
That's awesome.
Full circle right there.
I was like, "What the heck? I'm over here telling everybody my dreams."
Yeah, you were.
Random people.
Yeah. But that's what you got to do to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You gotta speak it.
You got to have that type of passion for sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
You don't even know who you told. You didn't even remember.
I remember making like a VHS tape of me drifting in the parking lots. I made like a mixtape of it.
Nice.
And I was like passing it out like it was like a rap.
Like a skateboarding tape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Falcon got a hold of it.
Uh-huh.
And I remember like J-Rad told me that he's seen it one day. And I was awesome. Like, how the heck did it get to you guys?
That's awesome.
The community was small back then for sure.
Yeah, it was cool. I can't wait to like drive again, especially with people like my friends, and just go back to what it was again in the past. So.
Yeah, it's there. Finally, it's back. Yeah.
Let me know when you guys are gonna go again. I'll take the Corolla out and try to drift it.
I think we have to do a Salady Mania drift day.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
And you know what we should do? Mm-hmm. We should do like recorded one run thing. And like the option video, you know how like I have a little picture of them doing like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one run. Everybody has one run to prove themselves.
Yes, that's it. For sure.
Okay.
For sure. But I want audio in car too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna need
more. And
Mark's
you guys should walk around with a pointer with the
Yeah.
And like point at their like busted like coilovers.
And y'all better be in character. Okay.
I want to be Keiichi, and I want to go through people's junk in their cars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
That's cool. We got to bring all that back because
right.
the drifters today they never seen that before.
No, they don't know that stuff. They don't know that side.
I hope they have.
They should know. No, I think that's a good season finale for season 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to just speak it into existence. So season 2, Salady Mania podcast finale at the track.
All right.
That's cool.
We're going to invite all the past guests.
Ooh.
That's it.
That's a great idea.
Okay. It's the invitational.
Okay.
Benson's like, whatever. And I'm like dead serious.
No, the gears are turning right now.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Imagine
Thanks,
seeing all those guys drive.
Yeah.
And girls drive.
Yeah.
Yo, get awesome. Your car ready, Lance. Let's do this. Game time.
What track are we going to? Because my car is really slow.
You know, if it were up to me, I would want to go to California Speedway's parking lot.
Oh my gosh. They don't allow that no more, huh?
Just like back in the day.
I know, but I would love it.
They do testing there. They let Falcon test there all the time.
That was so smooth, huh?
Yeah, it was smooth, and like you could go in third gear in a parking lot, and like that's how I learned.
Irwindale Speedway parking lot like drift show off,
like the original.
Yes, around all the light poles. Let's do it.
I don't care that there's a rain gutter here. You gotta drift over it.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Grange? Do you guys like Grange?
You mean Grange?
Yeah,
it's
ABS.
It's kind of small.
It is small, right?
Small. I don't like the.
Well, they widened it.
The road to go on.
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
That's still bad.
That sucks.
So bad.
I'm a princess. I don't want to be, driving on that. But it's good.
It's good. Yeah. I think we need. We're really lucky in SoCal to have all these tracks that we can drift at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at it. I think it's good.
We might just end up at Willow just because it's the easiest.
Streets of Willow is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get. I'll call people. It's fine.
We'll make it happen.
Cool. Yeah. I'll be there.
Okay, I'm down.
Get your. Are you gonna put a 1J in your Hachiroku?
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, best of both worlds right there.
No. I'll probably get a 350Z so I could be with you guys.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Mm-hmm. We'll bring all the cars, all the things. All right, I'm gonna build that event. Okay. All right, cool. I love it. Thank you, Lance, so much for being on for Storytime. I loved it. I felt like we had more than one story. Like it was for that. That drifting competition story, but it ended up like your mom got you a car story.
Yeah.
And like, we had good stories. So thank you, Lance.
I appreciate it, being on this episode for sure.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. But anyway, thank you, Lance. Take care.
Alrighty, take care.
Good talking to you. Are you a good storyteller and have a good drifting related story to tell? You gotta fill out an application at podcast.sil80mania.com. In the upper right, there's a link called Storytime app. Fill it out, and I'll be looking forward to reading it. And if you're watching on YouTube and you enjoyed the podcast, do what my boys from Auto Factory Realize say and make sure to like that smash button and hit subscribe. Thank you guys for listening.